Hey guys, Free Speech RN here. I was really touched today and have been touched by the efforts of a group called the Dragon's Den here on Twitter. They have a group of Anons that they call the Dragons who are pedo hunters. They do an amazing job. They gather binfuls to report of illegal accounts. Of course, Jack Dorsey supports pedophiles and bans the dragons. They're looking for any other way to deal with this problem because they keep getting attacked. They're getting attacked by trolls galore who are most likely perpetrators of the worst kind. And then they're attacked by Jack Dorsey and his minion moderators, whom for some reason like to attack child protectors. Over the past 2.5 years, for me, since the WikiLeaks emails came out and I traveled down the Pizzagate, Pedagate trail with loads of circumstantial evidence, I'm on my 6th Twitter page. And right now I'm carrying 2. This is just so discouraging. Anyway, I'm getting my first bonus on Friday for my job from a startup company. For the first time in my life as a nurse, I'm getting a bonus, and I don't really have money to burn. I don't have a car right now. I need to buy a new one. But with that bonus, I am giving part of it to WikiLeaks to fight The Guardian, and I believe it was Politico, 2 publications that published false information about Julian Assange. Then I'm donating to the grand jury testimony preparations that the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 inquiry need, okay? If you go to lcfor911.org, lcfor911.org, you will see the Lawyers Committee to investigate 9/11. They have all new evidence, and they will soon be testifying in front of a grand jury on behalf of the architects and engineers and the victims' family members. They are collecting donations, WikiLeaks, and I thought, dragons versus pedos, the Dragon's Den, Op Child Safety, and all the related hashtags are very, very deserving of a little help with their new website they're trying to erect. I really want to help. I haven't heard back. I hope to. That money will go fast. It's the pinned tweet on the top of my page, or maybe I'll just pin this to the top of my page on Twitter. I have a very, as you can see, very starter YouTube channel here. I'm not really an expert content creator or anything. This is my Christmas tree in my apartment, but I wish you all an upcoming very blessed Merry Christmas. We need to stay in the light. I lose my shit on here. I lose my shit. I have never lost my temper so much online or abused people so much that are frankly stupid, clueless, and calling for open borders when we have so many children being sold over the border for their organs on the black market, for sex, for satanic torture and ritual, for their body parts, for their blood. There is so much I've learned that keeps me up at night. The world doesn't know. We have to keep slowly dripping this information into the public. We need to keep calling out the officials. We need to be in their faces. And we also need to start protesting outside of convicted pedophiles' homes. Now, it's against the law to harass anyone on the sex offender registry, but there's nothing against protesting publicly and peacefully in public. When we have level 3 sex offenders living freely in their homes, in our neighborhoods. If you put in your zip code on a map, you can find them. There's hundreds and hundreds, even in what you would consider pretty safe neighborhoods. This is out of control. When you have level 3 sex offender, that means they're very, very likely to commit again. But let's face it, even the level 1s are. There is no cure for this. We need to start letting the public know. I am extremely discouraged, and I could cry because I set up a meetup and invited parents into my living room, okay, to educate them on online child safety. I'm a nurse. I figured, let me help my community. I don't even have my own kids. I'm the oldest of 6. I have lots of nieces and nephews. But let me tell you, one person showed up. I set up another meetup for a wine tasting, and I got 15 responses. This is where we're at, people. We really need to scare the public. I am not a fan of fear-mongering, but when we have an epidemic of nightmarish proportions, statistics, again, I repeat these like a broken record, from the ITNJ, who has gathered data from several different sources, estimated there are 8 million children, or 8 million children trafficked and or missing worldwide. 2007 statistics, I believe, from DHS or the FBI, that's old statistics, put it at 800,000 missing a year in North America alone. So it's much more now. Please follow the threads that the Dragon's Den has put out. She does amazing work. I'd also like to point out the work of Corey Diggs. I'd like to point out the work of, I'm going to put this in the description of this video, some links to follow. It's going to take a little time. I'm going to erect this video first. I just can't believe how important this is, but how so little attention is paid by the public, by parents who think, never my child. Meanwhile, these young girls are willingly giving strangers their nudes because they just need validation, or they think they're going to get a boyfriend or a modeling contract. They're lured in all sorts of ways. They're looking for love, or, you know, they're empty. They're not getting what they need, and they're sending strangers photos that these strangers are then terrorizing and blackmailing them with, luring them to meetings. In many cases, these young girls and even boys, they don't know who they're meeting with. They don't know who they're conversing with. Recently, my life changed. Well, 2.5 years ago, when I started discovering how bad this problem was, my life changed. But about 2 weeks ago, I came across a public Twitter page on which video previews just popped right up in front of my face. I didn't have to click on anything. And there was the most brutal child porn right in front of my face. Illegal content that showed up on Twitter that I never wanted to see, that none of us should ever have to see. I couldn't believe what they do to children. This isn't just sex. This is ripping children apart. Multiple men on tiny children. I am telling you, I want you to scare the public. Have the conversations. I don't care if it's at fucking Christmas. Have the conversations with everyone you know, because we're reaching the point of no return here. Thank you.